Hi guys, it's Foye, but you can call me Foye.
Hey, this is Lola, but you can call me Lola if you like.
Hi, this is Felisa, and you could call me Vels if you want. And this is Everybody Hates HR.
15. The numbers are getting higher.
They are.
I feel like I should be doing, like, remember when I was episode 13, I was like, lucky for some and lucky whatever, and I was thinking, what's 14? And then I was thinking, what's 15? And I was like, is this bingo? You know, like, I'm going to learn, for the next few episodes, I'm going to learn the bingo calls.
Go for it.
Yeah. Did you know the receipts do, is there a bus with this number?
Yeah.
They do, like, this episode 27,
Really?
is there a bus
There is
20 South East London buses?
I didn't take the bus, so I'm not too well.
In school?
That's why I don't
Yeah,
take the bus.
exactly.
That's why I don't take the bus.
Because of school.
Yeah. Lola's just, she's gone clear. That's why she don't take buses.
I walk everywhere. If I can walk, like, I would rather walk up to 45 minutes than take a bus.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah. I can't agree.
If I took the bus, if from where I live to get to Lewisham, do you know what?
You walk from where you live to Lewisham?
Yeah, it's like 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not
but if I
25
got the bus,
minutes.
it is 25 minutes. If I take the bus, it's like 30.
It's not.
I mean, if I take the bus, it's like 5. But if I walk, it's like 25 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
I do all the
She
time.
was talking about like the border between where she lives and Lewisham.
Literally, because you can't
to
be
get to the
talking.
shopping centre.
Okay.
Yeah, not the station, but to get to the shopping centre, it's like 25 minutes, and I would rather walk than spend 5 minutes on the bus.
Aren't you close to walking to the station and the shopping centre? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not. I mean, it's not that much difference though.
But I would rather walk for sure. I hate the bus.
Where I lived, there's not really any walking. Buses come like every 30 minutes.
Oh.
So there's no point.
But you know what?
I'm not walking.
The thing, yeah, is like for me to drive from mine to yours.
It's like 7-8 minutes.
No, it's like I think it's like 13 or 14.
But if you walked it,
yeah. So last time I needed to drop something off the Foye, and I was like, me and my boyfriend, we like to go for walks because we're nerds. But we were gonna go for a walk, and I was like, oh, why don't we just walk to Foye, and then that can be the walk. When I checked it was 2 hours, and I was like, we do 2 hour walks, but it would be 2 hours one way. So
it's a 10-minute drive.
I have something
Does
like
that
that
make sense?
with my friends.
To go for a walk to get some exercise. I wouldn't just walk to your house for vibes. I have to be. I used to walk to Central London.
No,
That's 2 hours.
I don't understand that. I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
doing that.
No.
But you don't like walking. Do you like walking?
Only in the gym on a treadmill.
That's the worst place to walk.
I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that. That's all right.
But yeah.
But no, I don't like to
On a
walk.
good podcast. Listen to Everybody Hates HR.
Listening to your own voice.
Listen to your own voice while you're walking. No, I listen to podcasts. I'll put on like,
You listen to podcasts in the gym?
not in the gym while I'm walking. I can't do it in the gym.
I need like
Music. Yeah.
I listen to like upbeat music in
Yeah.
the gym. But if I'm going for a walk, I listen to like, there's some stuff to get you thinking. I like listening to Black Girls Living when I'm going for a walk. That's a good one. I listen to 90s Babies, but sometimes I laugh. You know, you're just walking and you laugh to yourself.
Yeah. How's your week been?
My week's been alright. Do you know what? It's really sad because today, the client that I'm working at, they all went to Lisbon on like an away thing for the whole week.
That's such a nice away week.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
No, I know.
you guys.
Because you're
Thank
contracted,
you.
right? You'd much rather be here, of course,
As much as I love
right?
being here, like, it's really a slap in the face of every single person that you're working
They
with.
can't treat you like an employee, honey.
Huh?
They can't treat you
that's
like an
true.
employee.
That's
I'm
true.
inside out 35. They should have taken me. But yeah, no, so I didn't get invited. It was very rude of them, but I understood. I'm not. They literally said, you're not one of us.
You're not one of us.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so today I was basically working, and some of them are still working, so I've got my own stuff to do. But they were like, oh, I hope you're okay. I mean, I hope everything is nice in Lisbon. But at the same time, I was just like, why am I
Not really.
I was hating today.
Fair. That's fair. I've gone through some highs and lows this week. So my high was Usher's Tiny Desk.
Oh,
Loved
lovely.
it.
I watched it
Loved it.
twice.
Did you?
Yeah, Usher was my first ever like proper crush.
You had a crush on Usher?
Yeah, I did. I used to bring in his CD every time we had like our Christmas party in primary school.
Really?
You know what?
That was Bow Wow.
Typical.
It actually was, and then it switched to Chris Brown.
Oh yeah, Chris Brown came after Usher
Then
for
Chris
me.
Brown.
Anyway, I can't. It's just the dance. Like, I like Usher, I can get. But you know what?
Usher dances too.
Yeah, I know, but it's just different. It's different. But when I watched Moesha,
when he was Jeremy,
when he was Jeremy, and I remember when he
sang outside her door.
Yeah, and I looked back. I literally watched it like this year, like earlier this year. I watched it, and I remember when I watched it, I just remember thinking, "Oh God, Usher! Oh my God, that's Usher and Jeremy and whatever."
Yeah.
But then when I watched it back, I just thought, this is a bit lame.
Nah,
Cringe.
I love
Yeah,
Usher.
it was a bit lame, but at the time, I remember thinking, and
Yeah.
Usher looks like a man now. Obviously, we were young, but now I look back, he was just like, oh, this is a bit.
I mean, speak for yourself. So,
But surely he was a lot older than you then.
No, he was young.
no, because he's 45 now, 44 now. So yeah, he was significantly older.
Exactly.
No, but he was playing it-
To
he
be
was-
crushing on
He
him.
was playing a young character. They were all, remember him and Maurice.
Yeah, but
were
we
in
would
secondary
have
school.
been like,
Too young to be watching that.
Or
yeah,
too young to be having crushes or what.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I feel like we were like 11.
We.
Oh my God.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Give it up.
She's not gonna let it go.
Okay, but
She's not gonna let it go.
Can I tell you
Listen, how
my?
old are you?
I'm 31.
I love that for you.
I'm glad that you know.
I really love that you voiced that today.
I'm 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Own it.
You're just shining.
Glowing.
Asian like fine wine.
Anyways, I'm ignoring you two now.
It's been just a calm weekend. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing exciting has happened. But it feels good though. I don't feel terrible. I feel quite good.
Yeah, need that sometimes.
I did nothing. I actually did nothing this weekend. Like,
It's good though
It's
sometimes.
good to do that.
so what's on the HR agenda?
So no, Lisa said she saw some interesting social media stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some things. So I've seen a couple of people go online, so go on Twitter and tweet like threads of, you know, horrible things they've been experiencing at work and how it's been dealt with badly by their HR departments. And then I've also seen that on somebody was on TikTok. And you see this a lot. It seems to be a trend on TikTok where people basically say what their income is and how they spend their income for that month, or like follow them on their day in the office, blah, blah. And this person, America, obviously, they got sacked for disclosing their income and how they spend it on TikTok. So
what was it like? I haven't seen the TikTok, but was the whole purpose of the video, this is what I get paid? Or was the purpose of the video like, oh, how I spend my money? Was it the whole TikTok like, guys, this is what I earn? Or was it just a product, like part of it?
it was just part of it. So it was like, this is how much I earn in a month, and this is how I spend it in a month working at X company.
Oh, she said
Where she
said the
works,
company.
yeah, which I think was the
That's
main
when it
issue.
messed up.
Yeah, where I think other TikToks say, you know, oh, I work in finance and this is how much not the specific company. So I think
Yeah.
that's where she effed up.
Even though everyone can probably always find out, but it's just the actual
Just don't
mentioning
advertise it. Yeah.
Yeah. But then should it be an issue? Like, it's not illegal to say where you work and how much you earn.
You know, there's companies, they have policies about pay transparency, but they're not supposed to now because pay secrecy. But basically, they say pay secrecy is not good for stuff like gender pay gap reporting, and it stops people being able to know if they're being paid fairly. But lots of companies will try to discourage people from sharing, like,
They do.
what they get paid and stuff like that. But it's not. It can't. I mean, anywhere where they have like sensible employment law, the US is the ghetto.
But
innit?
the US, you're talking sensible employment law, and then you're
It's
putting US
true.
in the same
But
sentence.
then it might have changed now, but when I was working at John Lewis, we weren't allowed to talk about pay. Yeah, we weren't supposed to
But
know
as in, was that a policy, or was it just told to you?
From what I remember, it was a policy
Oh,
that
really?
There's companies that
you
have
weren't
it.
supposed to talk about it.
Some people like they even write in their contracts. But
Really?
but I feel like in terms of actually doing something about it, it's difficult now because of all the stuff around gender pay gap reporting. Because if you can make like a gender pay claim, let's say I get paid 40k and then all the men in the team get paid 45k. I can say, why do I not get paid the same as them? But I can only do that if I can get access.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So they basically say that not telling people not to discuss pay or not like having secrecy can be like discriminatory as well. But lots of companies still do it because more time people are not going to challenge it.
That's wild.
What are your thoughts though? Do you feel like a company should be transparent with salaries or allow employees to be transparent with salaries or not? And your pros and cons from an employee's perspective and then from an employer's.
Do you know what? So the tech company that I used to work for, they were very open about salaries. So people would create like live Google Docs and they'd put their name, their location, how much they earn, what their bonus is, how many and any employee, as long as you're an employee, you had access to this Google Doc. And
who made the document?
I don't know who started it, but it's like a legacy thing now because everybody goes to it, especially the engineers, to go and see like their level, their location, like are they matching up kind of thing. It doesn't really make a difference. Yeah. I'd never been in that sort of environment before. So when I saw it, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But it didn't really make a difference though, because how salaries are formed there is everything is formulaic. So it's based on all of those things. It's based on your level, your location. Okay. So your manager doesn't pick basically what your salary is. So you can complain, but there's a formula behind it. So I think from an employee point of view, I think that's amazing to be able to have access to that sort of information and be able to discuss it as well with your peers without it being like taboo in the company to actually have those conversations. I think from a HR standpoint, very annoying that employees can have these conversations amongst themselves with no real context of how these things are like put together, and they just come up with their own conclusions, and then these myths are formed and you don't have control over it because they're just spreading like wildfire. So that's annoying from a HR standpoint. And then from that's from an employer standpoint as well. So but overall I think it's good to share.
What do you think, Lola?
I feel like I have a bit of bias because not my very first job, but the first job where it mattered, when I was at Deloitte, like where I was for 5 years, we used to have a comms meeting every year where they would put up each grade, because everything was very graded, like start to grade and you progress, each grade and then the bracket for that grade.
Okay.
So it was in the open meeting, they would like everybody. So I know that if I'm an assistant manager, this is what the band is. I know where I sit in the band. Usually when you get promoted, you start at the bottom of the band. Then depending on how long you're there for, you progress through the band. I know exactly what I'll get paid when I get to be a manager. I know what the band is for this year. I know what the directors get paid. You know what you know everything.
Yeah.
And you know where you are. So when it comes to have the pay discussion, you know where they're putting you on the band.
Yeah.
And it's just, everything is so much easier. But that's in a business where everything is so highly standardized, where they have like grades and stuff. And you're like, I don't know how it would work for marketing or to work for finance or to work, but for our team, it was so easy. Everyone you talk to, you can see like how it works. And it means I could have conversation with others in my peer group and be like, okay, like we used to get promoted. Oh, what did they promote you to? More time they're promoting us to the same thing. Or if you've been there for a certain period of time, or what bonus did you get? What pay rise did you get? And I liked it. And then also they had like, that is based on something, and then you have performance as well that feeds into like how you get pay rises in the band. The only thing I would say is to build on what Valisa said, like I can see it from an employee perspective and a HR perspective, because when as a person you feel like you understand your performance relative to your peers, but you never do, because your peers they don't deliver work to you. Do you know what I mean? Like you just see what you can only see so much.
Yeah.
The only person who really has full exposure to the quality of their work is going to be their manager, people that they deliver the work to. So you might think, oh, I perform just as well as such and such. No, sis, no, bro, you don't. So that's the other thing. Many people, it's not fair. Why don't I get paid as much as so and so? Because you're not at the same level. You don't have the same understanding. Your written work is not as good. Do you know what I mean? Or your written work is better.
Yeah.
So that's where it becomes difficult from like an employer perspective, because sometimes people don't have that nuance and they don't understand it, and sometimes it can feel unfair, even if it's not. But I am a big fan of it, and I feel like if there's a real reason, like what you said, why people get paid what they paid, then everyone can know. And if you say, why does such and such get paid more than me? Because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Then there's less to, people will still complain, but there's less to complain about, and less to be accused of discrimination and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think because both of your examples were from big companies where you do have the gradings or there's some sort of formula behind it, whereas my background is a lot more smaller, like SMEs that don't necessarily have that infrastructure. So I would definitely say I'm definitely an advocate for, I feel like pay should be transparent and everyone should know, or not everyone, but as in at least you just want to know what everyone in your team's on, and also where you can go as well. I think it's important.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would say in smaller companies, I think they get away with people not knowing people's salaries, and usually smaller companies tend to be a lot more over familiar with employees in terms of like relationships. It could be like favoritism or things like this, or I brought this person in, so they tend to have like a really big sign-on bonus, or after 1 year your salary will go up to this, and it's a lot more negotiated as opposed to just here's this like structure and you follow it. So is that a good thing for the employee? Yes, if you're able to be in that position, but long term I just don't, it's not consistent. And it does lead to a lot of issues, I think. So I don't even know if I'm trying to say if it's good or bad. I feel like it's good that from an employee perspective that you see what salary you're on or what other people are on. From an employer perspective, I think I agree that there should be structure, basically, because there can be a lot of issues that come out of not having that structure.
Where it actually becomes more of a problem, more problematic, is recruitment, because especially depending on what the market's like, it costs more money to get somebody in than to have everybody wants to move for a pay rise. So if two people are doing the same job in a company, it's cool, but to get somebody to move from their company to your company, you have to pay them more money. So a lot of sometimes where it has a problem is to get somebody in at the same level as the people that you have in your team, you have to pay them more, because why would they come? So that's when it becomes a problem. But I feel like that's different because it's kind of internally. But this lady was outside telling people, isn't it?
Yeah.
That has implications even for competitors to know. Like that's
true.
The thing
That's
that
probably
people
where it
don't
came
want.
from.
And that's why, people are like, oh, why don't you put your salaries on your job adverts? One of the reasons why companies don't like doing it is because they don't want to let their competitors know
what's going on. Yeah.
Because all your competitors will do is, once they know what your pay structure is, they'll just go and approach all your people and they'll know exactly what to offer them. They can literally jump, if you know that, okay, everyone on this team is on 35, all you need to do is jump into everyone in their team thing and offer them 45, and then you'll take them.
And that is what happens, especially like with the ones that are in like the big companies, like the big four. They have a rough idea because they've already poached so many people from all these. They have a rough idea of what they should be offering. Same for tech, same for wherever. Like it's the same thing. They already know. So that is what they do. Because
let me tell you, when the last company that I was like at in a perm role, it was a recruitment business, and I was head of people. And we had one person, Facebook, Meta, whatever they're called, they came to approach one of our tech recruiters, and then they obviously had a conversation with that tech recruiter. That tech recruiter moved over. Once they had the intel, they just ravished our business. Like they just it was so bad. At a point, everyone was just going to Facebook.
Really?
It was so bad. I was like, you guys have no, like, and we're like not even a big company. So it's like, you guys, you're literally just bullying us. And we don't have the cash. We don't have the cash. So they just came one by one. They must have just approached everybody.
Yeah.
And the ones that bit, they bit, and the ones that didn't, and they were offering them like 20k more.
Yeah, because they
Sometimes
can
more.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, there are people on 35 and they'll move for like 60.
Must be nice.
And where like Facebook is trying to do like or Meta, they're trying to hire so many engineers, like they have this big plan or whatever. They're just like, boy, what it takes to get the tech recruiters in, it takes. And they just went and they
finished you.
They were just, it was so rude what they did. It was just so rude. And I can remember, I can just imagine like the recruitment manager being on the recruiter, like, we need to get more people, we need to get more tech recruiters in. Oh, don't worry. We're gonna go back there.
We'll get some.
But that's the problem with like sharing the pay. It can cause, number one, if that company didn't have pay transparency internally, it could cause issues.
Yeah.
And then outside, it can give the company issues from a competitor perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, because how do companies deal with that then? Because like Valisa said, that video on TikTok, it's a trend. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people do the same thing of a day in the life or how much I spent this month. And really and truly, that's the direction that the world is heading in. So how are companies gonna deal with this? Is it to enforce a policy, but then at the same time, is that the right thing to do?
Some of them don't care. Some of them literally put the money on the job advert. And a lot of them do. In some states in the US, actually, it's actually mandated that you, when you advertise a job, you put how much money it pays. And so in some places it is, and in some places it's not. But some companies genuinely won't care because they already told everyone what the role is on the advert.
Yeah, and some see it as like brand advocacy. Like I saw one, it was a girl who worked at LinkedIn, and she did a like follow me on my day around LinkedIn as a marketing something. And like it got loads of views and stuff, but it makes you want to work for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you'll get those companies as well that are like, do you know what? These people can do what they want because it's going to make people want to work for us.
Those people that love their companies, and a lot of the big tech companies, you get like, for instance, Google, I don't know what they put in the Kool-Aid there, but they're all drinking it. When you get like,
I think I'd be drinking it too. I'm not gonna lie.
It's true.
LinkedIn is like that as well. People that work at LinkedIn, they genuinely seem like they love it, unless they're like just, kicking them all behind the scenes. But LinkedIn, Google, like even a couple other ones, like people that work at Boohoo.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple like nice bits on LinkedIn from Boohoo. I'm like, because you don't work in the factory, but
it's true.
Separate situation, like ASOS. I actually know the employer brand person from ASOS.
ASOS looks fun.
Yeah.
No?
This doesn't look like my bag.
Nah,
Yeah.
even
I'm not a big fan of retail though.
even the
HR
office.
and retail.
Yeah.
ASOS is more e-commerce, no?
Yeah, but I don't know. I know people that work there, so.
Yeah. Same. But like, there's a couple. Yeah, some companies are really good at like they don't mind. And TikTok actually, TikTok have this recruiter who makes TikToks.
Oh,
and she does good transitions.
She's
She's sick. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I see her on LinkedIn. So she makes TikToks. So she'll do a transition. She'll be like, I'm recruiting, and then she'll come and push herself out the way to talk about the job or something. Like, it's good. Like do you know what I mean? You can get a lot from your employees speaking about your brand.
Yeah.
And especially if it's aspirational, if people are like, wow, you get paid that much to work there.
Yeah.
It just depends on the kind of company of company it is.
That's true. Delivery looked fun actually. I saw Delivery. Yeah, I saw a TikTok of somebody who worked in Delivery, and it showed like where they have like their big like meetings is on like a basketball court sort of thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and then they've got like a ping pong table, and it's a really nice view. And
but their HR cases seem like they'll be quite high.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know that's what I'm talking about? Do you know how many riders and I don't know how it works, but if it was based on the riders, people stealing your food.
Yeah. Well, did
people
you
not turning up.
see the delivery driver who filmed that woman who had thrush?
Yes.
I couldn't believe.
And he didn't blur out their face. It's just that the video that went viral, the person had the decency to blur out the woman's face.
He even asked, why would you need it for? Or something like that.
Tell everybody on the pod who didn't see it, like what it was.
So it was some stupid man who
proper stupid.
He was a driver for delivery. I won't say a delivery driver. He was a driver for delivery, and he was delivering an order to a young lady who,
Boots, right?
Yeah, it was from Boots, and it was for thrush. And he brought it out for everybody to see what the product was, and he also filmed the lady coming to collect it and started asking her questions like, what is this for? Is this for you? Etc. All filmed. Like, it's just so
It
unnecessary.
was crazy.
He
So
ripped
disgusting.
open her
It was
package.
disgusting.
So he shouldn't even know what was in the package because he was just supposed to deliver it, but he
Even if it
he
was
opened
open,
it.
like,
I
what
think
is
it was
wrong?
slightly open.
Yes, I think you could see.
So basically Boots put it in their normal bag, whereas what they should have done is taped it, like a lot
Yeah.
of
They
them
would,
use,
yeah.
but they didn't do that. So it was easy for him to see, but he had no business opening it.
At
And even if he
all.
saw it, what's your business? Like,
Yeah.
he literally, why do you want to embarrass it? Is it for clout? Like,
Yeah.
like,
It's for clout.
It is.
yeah, do you get what I mean?
It
Like,
is.
he's-
So-
he's done out.
Yeah.
No more delivery for him.
So people, they basically made it go viral. The one where her face is blurred out, and Deliveroo did reply on Insta and Twitter that I saw, basically saying that this person isn't ever gonna work for them again. But I feel like with all these companies like Deliveroo, Uber Eats and stuff, there should be some sort of like alliance there where they can say, well, this person's worked here and he literally did gross
You're
misconduct,
right.
so he shouldn't be able to just
But
be
that-
a driver for
should that-
Uber Eats.
That be not for everything then? Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be like that for anything.
You're right, but I just feel like with something like that, like
I know what you mean, because even have you ever been in an Uber or one of those?
and they switch to Bolt and they
switch to
switch,
Bolt,
yeah.
And I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
how does that even work? You literally have like 5 apps
Open,
open,
yeah.
You work for all of them. Yeah.
No, but it's true. Like, even there's like abuse cases and they don't track. But like, there's just lots of
Yeah,
stuff.
there's no tracking.
And yeah, he was just an idiot. But like, again, that must be against every single social
Has
media
to be.
policy.
Of course.
How can you not blur out her face? Like, let's just think about it. You're putting her whole face on the internet, embarrassing her
I just
about
think
something that's
he
very
wanted
normal,
to,
by the
though.
way.
Yeah,
He wanted to embarrass her, and I just don't understand why. So that you can like,
for clout.
yeah,
For views.
But do people? This is the thing. There was something similar that happened on LinkedIn. I saw it yesterday. I was so disgusted. I literally just had to close it. I wanted to comment, but I'm like, I don't even want this thing to get any more airplay. Like, there was a woman again on LinkedIn. Her aim wasn't to embarrass, but she was also an idiot. So she said, "Hi." She's a picture of this guy. Look, he's clearly vulnerable, kind of hunched over, hiding his face. And she's like, "Hi guys," I don't know what the person's name is. "This is James. Today I saved James from ending his life. He was going to jump off this bridge, but blah, blah, blah."
I saw that.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read it though, because I was just
I
like,
saved him from jumping off a bridge, blah, blah, blah. I've helped him. I'm trying to get him some support now. He thanked me for blah, blah. One of these virtue signaling posts. Like, it was literally like, number one, if you've helped someone and you're trying to get them support, cool. Why don't you just do a post saying, "Hi guys, no picture. I'm working with a very vulnerable person in this area, trying to get some support. Can anyone help me?" Why do you need to take a picture of a person in a very vulnerable state, then post it, then let the world know that you just saved his life? I was just like, this place is a cesspit. Like, it was so bad. And I'm like, is it, again, it's the same kind of thing, just the other way, like for clout. You think you'll get clout from embarrassing somebody. You think you'll get your LinkedIn clout from showing that you're a great person. Like, it's just disgusting.
Social media just makes people do really strange things. Like, really strange.
Without thinking.
Like,
It's that delivery guy. The comment, it backfired because no one
Big
in the
time.
comments was laughing and kicking with him. Like, he was
what did he
literally
expect?
getting. I don't know. He
Even
thought
that
he was gonna laugh with him, I guess.
even that woman, what did she expect? Because there was a couple of people like, "Oh yeah, you've done a great thing," but I'm like, you guys have lost it. Like, it was. I'll send it to you guys later if I can find it. But I was so disgusted by it. I'm just like, even as an employer, if your employee does that, obviously you can't really do anything. But it's not like,
I should have a word though.
it's just, it's
Would
mad.
you?
Yeah, because especially on LinkedIn, where literally
It's
people will just
professional.
go and see
Your
where
job,
you work.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
true.
it's just mad. So she lost her job. Sorry, back to your lady.
Yeah. She sorry. Yeah, she did. She lost her job. She didn't keep it.
And so then she made a TikTok about losing her job, I assume.
No, I didn't. No, she didn't.
So how did you find out that she lost her job?
I read it.
I think that's quite harsh.
HR grapevine.
I love
yeah.
HR Grapevine.
I know you love it.
I love HR Grapevine.
Yeah.
Shout
She's
out to
ambassador.
them.
She lost it there. Yeah,
I think that's harsh.
You should make a TikTok about it.
she should.
I think
I
that's
think
harsh.
it's harsh as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that she should, at best, caution that's just not how, you know, we want to present ourselves. It's like off brand for the company XYZ. But to lose her job, I think it's a bit harsh.
Very deep.
Yeah,
it is, especially if what she was trying to do was quite positive.
I mean, I would say it's just it's
Content.
neutral. Yeah, it's just content. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like she was painting it in a like, oh, I'm surviving on these £2.50.
No.
And that's why I think it's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
So what was the other thing?
There were two separate people, both black men actually, on Twitter, who different threads about how they were treated in the workplace. One was Tesco.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and the other one, I don't think he mentioned where he worked.
Tesco one was bad.
Check. Do you want to talk about the Tesco one while I double check?
I don't remember the whole of it, but basically, it was just so unnecessary. So it's important that he's black because it was related to that. He worked at Tesco in Bournemouth, I think.
I can't
Bournemouth,
remember what
yeah.
area it was.
Yeah, and then somebody at work, I don't know why they showed it to him, but they showed him a playlist that was a Spotify playlist that was created by a colleague, a white lady, and the Spotify playlist was called. My mic's been turned. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. But the Spotify playlist was called. I'll say it. I don't know if we'll bleep it out, but it was called Negro Collective, and it was created by a white girl, and there was a bunch of black people in the playlist. So someone showed him this playlist, and he was obviously very upset by it because why the hell?
Why would you have that?
Why would you make that? You even were so brazen. Her face was there. Her name was there. Let's say like her name was Sally Smith. Yeah, it was like Sally Smith's playlist, Negro Collective, and he was just like the whole thing was just really brazen. So he made a complaint about it, and he was like, okay, I'm going to trust the system. Made a complaint about it. Then this is obviously his version of events, and then it took really long. He kept following up with the complaint. It wasn't moving forward. Nothing was happening. Then eventually he just decided to go up to her, which I don't think he should have done, but I'll talk about why. But he went up to her, he recorded it, and we'll talk about the recording, but he was talking to her fairly calmly saying, why did you do it? And then she was like, it wasn't me, it was my friend, blah, 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 blah. Then her mother...
Who works in
Tesco.
Who also happens to work in the same Tesco store. Then came and started saying, don't talk to her like that. You're being aggressive. He brought another colleague with him just to witness. And again, we'll talk about the struggle of a black man, but he brought another colleague to the conversation just to witness that how he was talking calmly. He wasn't blah, blah, blah. He recorded some of this conversation. So he then, long story short, the mother of the girl then basically raised a grievance against him while he was away, so that he was intimidating her. And at the time, she also said, you're intimidating me. And she kind of pointed to his stature, saying, okay, you know, you're intimidating.
What's intimidating about me?
You have to, exactly. Insinuate that because he's big and black, he's intimidating. Anyway,
that's another story for another day.
Grievance was raised against him. They interviewed the daughter as a witness when they did an investigation. The daughter said actually she wasn't intimidated, but the mother said that he was. I can't remember, there was something around the person who was doing the grievance against him, but it was moved forward very quickly, whereas the one that he put in still crickets, right? And then long story short, he was dismissed because he was being aggressive or something like that. And he recorded some of this conversation. He put it out on Tesco. I don't know if Tesco have responded yet.
No, not that I've seen.
And yeah, so basically he has lost his job, and he feels that it was unfair because why has he lost his job when if they had done the job, he wouldn't maybe have even felt like he needed to go up to the girl. Even when he went up to the girl, he doesn't think he was intimidating. If he looked different, if he sounded different, if he was a different race or whatever, would they have still said it was intimidating? But yeah, that was the story. It was really actually quite sad. I do feel like the point he lost the battle was when he went to go and speak to her, and not for any other reason besides the fact that I already know the story and how it was going to play out. You're a black man. You're going to go speak to a smaller white lady you've lost already. Yeah. It's been the story for 50 years. Like
not 50 years.
Listen, it's the story.
I know.
It's story, and like it's how it always ends. I could have told him how it was going to end.
And bless him, because I feel like that's why he recorded, because he knows how the story goes. But he thought maybe if I record it, I've got evidence that that's not how it went down, and it still played out the way it played out. So, which is a bit unfortunate.
What do you think about recording colleagues?
So recording colleagues usually is frowned upon. So my thing is, if you're going to record colleagues, you keep it in your arsenal, innit? Like, you keep it as a weapon, but it's not something that you should just bring out and say, hey, I've got a recording that you said this, because 9 times out of 10, once you go through a process, it's not going to get looked at, or it's going to go against some sort of policy that the company has. They'll use it to try and intimidate you into cancelling your grievance or disciplinary or whatever. And now the case moves from what you've actually intended it to be into now you've violated the policy. Yeah. So, but at the same time, if you really feel like I have nothing to lose and you're willing to die on this hill, throw it in there. Like,
but
honestly,
let the recording have receipts.
Yeah, 100%. Not just an hour-long recording of this is how the conversation went down. True.
If I have a recording of a colleague, I'm only going to use it in very specific circumstances. One, to prove that they're lying. So if I say to you, if you said F off, if I say I was told to F off and you said I never said that, that's when I bring out the recording, because I can prove that you're lying. It discredits you, whatever. I shouldn't have recorded you, but actually I feel like it was the only way to protect myself. Yeah. Like that Legal and General girl who said everyone was bullying her. It went nowhere. She said and then she finally just recorded them when she left the room talking about how she's black and she stinks. Yeah. Like that's when you bring it out. Like let it have something which is like, let it have a grenade.
But even that, 100%, but even that, that's because she took it to social media, not because she took it to her employers and said, hey, there's this recording. It's because she took it to social media.
That's true.
She ended up resigning, and then she used that. And then the other thing is you can use it after you've already left. So if you go to tribunal or something like that, you don't have to care about breaking a policy or anything like that, right? And the other time I would say, actually, if you genuinely are afraid or you genuinely feel like people are not going to believe you or you're being gaslit, sometimes the only way to satisfy yourself is to record, and then actually get someone neutral to listen to it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you'd be like, okay, I feel like I'm being, but if you record it and get somebody else and then get their opinion, someone who's not involved, is this bad or isn't it bad? It can even help you to decide whether to take it forward. And now, the way it is with everything being online, I just talk like I'm being recorded, because I feel like you can, any conversation you have with somebody, they could be recording it. That's the new age. Yeah. I've heard some really stupid people who actually tried to record it on Teams. There was a guy who tried to record a meeting, and obviously it tells everybody that you're recording. Yeah. So, but the way it is now, any sort of meeting, any grievance, any disciplinary, I would just talk like the other person. I would always anyway. But you can never assume that no one is not recording what you're saying.
I learned the hard way because, when I moved to the recruitment company onwards, I always worked with different jurisdictions, not just the UK and Ireland. And then there was one time where I was recorded, but it was by someone in Israel. And in Israel, it's very much legal. It's very much okay to record people. Like it's the norm almost, essentially, to be recorded. And I was doing a PIP disciplinary, and I found out that my whole disciplinary, every single thing I did with him was recorded.
Wow.
Yeah.
You won job there.
I mean, I was fine. Yeah.
Love that.
Period. But yeah, that was like oh my God, wow, is that what people are doing? And then I found out, in California, it is illegal to do that. But yeah, I only really, I knew it was kind of okay here, even though companies had policies. But yeah, working with different jurisdictions really woke me up.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting because here, right, if you want to record, you have to have consent from everyone present to record, or else you just get some note taker in HR that will note take for you. You'll look at the notes and you'll say I agree with them or I don't, kind of thing. Everything else is pretty much illegal unless it goes to tribunal, where a judge can actually say, I want to listen to the tape, or they can equally say, I don't want to listen to it. It can go either way, but there's no hard and fast rule around it. But But to know that in Israel, it's like,
Yeah.
it's the norm. Not that it would make me act any different, to be fair, because I feel like I'm quite.
Put me on edge.
I feel like some people would act
No,
differently.
of course. I'm just saying me personally, but I think it would make you. It could make someone act differently knowing that they're being recorded.
If they know that they even could be recorded, it can. And the reason a lot of people record things is because of the fear of being gaslit. Like, if you've ever been in a situation where you know something is wrong, you know someone's speaking to you in a certain way, or you know you're not speaking to someone in a certain way, and it's just continuous, they keep saying you are or they're not or whatever, it can drive you mad. That's why people do it, because they're like, I've had people come to me and be like, I've recorded. I don't advocate anyone to do it, but I have had people say I've recorded this conversation, and I've listened to conversation. I've said that's bullying.
Yeah.
This person is harassing you.
Yeah.
And they don't even know if that's, I can listen to it so easily and say that's not okay.
Yeah,
but
of course.
they don't have the lens. They just know that they're not enjoying it.
Yeah. To that point, the other story was they did name the company. It's called WebHelp UK. He worked remotely, so he never met any of his colleagues before. But in his time when he started, he never had his camera on, so they didn't actually know what he looked like. And then in one of his group sessions, he said that his
I think I heard about this.
Yeah, he said that his wife has just gone viral on TikTok. So they were like, oh, let's see the TikTok and stuff. And then they saw that he's a black man with a black wife or whatever. And some guy, I'm trying to read it at the same time to refresh my memory. But basically, one of the guys in the meetings started saying really random stuff, like, I can count on one hand how many black people I've seen in my area. If you came, you'd stick out like a sore thumb. Why are black people's teeth so white?
And then the guy said, I'm black and I don't think my teeth are particularly white.
He did say that.
Black people having white.
No,
is that not a positive thing?
why are you making a thing? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you othering him on the? It's just weird.
It's weird.
Yeah. So he tried to stay calm, and then just like the other guy, he did try to record the conversation with the line manager, because basically the other guy basically clocked, maybe I said some things that were a bit off key, and got to the line manager first and said that this other guy had said things about 9/11 and just some really random stuff. About oh gosh, I've just followed him by accident. But yeah, just said some really random stuff about 9/11, and he was saying about a mass shooting as well at the black church in Charlton, was it? Yeah. And so he recorded his conversation with his line manager, and his line manager basically didn't believe him, that he hadn't said these stuff that the other guy was saying he'd said, because he was the victim, he was the one being but he did get there first, so they didn't believe him. And basically, long story short, he actually lost his job. So he said he was racially abused and then interrogated, and then they didn't speak to the witness that he had that actually heard everything that was said. Who heard the call? They didn't speak to that person. They've actually responded with a really, I don't know if you guys want to hear the statement that they put out. It's very, very like all lives matter. They said WebHelp UK has established and robust policies and processes in place to support colleagues, which are designed to help us operate fairly and consistently and deliver on best practice employment practices. As a people-first business, we condemn all forms of discrimination and do not tolerate abuse of any kind. Our goal is to create an environment where all our people feel safe and supported, and we fully investigate all allegations with utmost seriousness as soon as we are made aware of them.
As soon as they said nothing.
They did say nothing.
It was just air.
That's their EDI statement, basically.
It is.
I feel bad that he lost his job.
I feel bad as well, and it's like when it comes to this is why people record things.
Yeah,
when it comes to
he
said, she said, you'll want. If he had that thing recorded, he would feel so much better. If he was of the mindset, so let me just quickly record it while it's ongoing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you don't, then.
But why didn't they even speak to the other person that was on the call?
People are lazy.
It's terrible.
And also, there's so many things that it's just So you shouldn't record, but I understand why people do.
Yeah, definitely. I think the kind of message here is you can record if you want to, but just from a process perspective, it's very hard for it to get listened to and used as part of your evidence unless it kind of reaches tribunal stage, and even then it's at the judge's discretion. So,
but it can be a good tool for your own sanity.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what? This week, I'm going to drag them anyway, but do you remember, guys, about 2 months ago, you guys have been through my internet struggles anyway, but I had internet with Sky, I didn't like it, was slow, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I got rid of it. A couple of people recommended Virgin. Me and my friend both got Virgin, like pretty much on the same day, or the day after. I even referred her before I even got my own box. They've been having some issues in my area. They said I could do a quick start, just plug and go. Then when it came to plug, there was no plug in my home. And then they said, okay, they're going to come do external works. 1 month later, no internet, keep coming, or they say they're going to come, they don't come to install it, blah, blah. So I basically said I want to cancel. I tried twice. They was like, oh no, we're going to do better, No. Then every time they would tell me they're coming on a certain day, they would not. Then I would call back and someone would tell me that's not what happened. I started recording them. I've recorded every single conversation with Virgin. Then when the next person tells me that that's not what's on the note, I play them the recording. And it happened so many times that I cancelled, and then I got my refund back. They gave me like money back, and they said, okay, you have another bill coming. I said, there's no way I'm paying for service that I didn't receive. So they said, okay, forget the £25, we're gonna give you a credit. On the weekend, I got an email saying your bill is ready, your bill is due. I don't know why, but they put a £17.50 credit instead of a £25. So they called me for the £7.50.
They're so cheeky.
And they didn't even call me. I called them. I said, listen, there's no way on God's green earth that I'm paying you £7.50. It's not even the money. You guys are trying to frustrate me into submission. I will not pay it. So anyway, the woman starts saying, well, we've already given you a discount. I said, discount for
You've
what?
had no service.
I haven't even had 1 megabyte of internet.
Yeah,
I'm not 1 megabyte.
Service.
Anyway, long story short, she just basically said, there's nothing she can do. So I said, okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to play it to you. I played it to her. I got my £7.50 credit.
Good.
This is...
Yeah, it's necessary.
Sometimes you just need to for your own
It's
sanity.
necessary.
And the reason I was actually recording it is so that I could play it back to them, because I knew I couldn't trust them, but also so that they don't try and make me go mad. They kept telling me that that's not what the conversation that I had. So that's why you should record things.
Yeah.
Obviously, tribunal is not the same as
Virgin. Slightly different, but
for your own sanity.
Yeah. And sorry, I was just going to say, I think it is good because especially when it comes to things like discrimination and harassment, where sometimes it's not tangible, like if it's not overt, then you do sometimes think you're going crazy. If it's microaggressions, you're like,
it's true.
Did I just really hear what I think I just heard? So sometimes I feel like, go on records, because when you go through these processes that have essentially been built on like the way Brits work, like white British people work, white men work, whatever it is, they're not built to help these people that they're now trying to use these policies to processes to help these people go through. True. So I do feel like you sometimes do need to record, because sometimes you'll go through an investigation and they will tell you that this discrimination hasn't been substantiated because it doesn't fit into their fact finding. But you can't fact find racism, honey.
Exactly. So let them know.
Do you know what I mean? So because I can't fact find, here you go. Here are all the microaggressions, because there was no way you were gonna substantiate my claim.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find this. I remember one time I wrote a thread about social media. I'm trying to find it. So there was definitely some advice in there around what people should and shouldn't do on social media as it pertains to work. The first thing I would actually say is just read your social media policy. That can help you to avoid a lot of stuff in terms of what you can and cannot kind of say on social media if you're interested in maintaining your job. Obviously, at the point you've been sacked, then boy, you have a good old time. But I'm trying to find it, but there's loads of stuff where people do and they don't even know that it can become a problem. I don't know if I shared the story before, but I used to work with a telecoms company, And we used to provide an outsourced service to them, and we had an employee who had, during the whole Black Lives Matter thing, he had made some comments about the people that were out protesting, and he had posted some stuff in support of Black Lives Matter, but he got into a bit of an online tussle with an ex uni friend or something. And basically the uni friend basically said that he was surprised that this employee was not out with those those like skinheads that went to go and fight the Black Lives Matter people. He was like, I'm surprised that he went to go protect the statues.
Oh,
yeah, not
okay.
even Black Lives Matter, actually. It was nothing to do with that. But the people that went to go and protect the statues, he was like, I'm surprised you're not out with them. He got really upset. He said, I hope I don't see you soon. And this person that he said it to was a customer of the media client that this guy was basically outsourcing work for. They complained to the media client and or the telecoms client, and they basically wrote in and said, these are the threats that your employee, they thought he was a direct employee, these are the threats that your employee has made against me today. What kind of package do I have to buy where your employees don't abuse me? What do I have to upgrade so that your employees don't abuse me? And he couldn't work for that client anymore.
Do you know what? I hear it, but I also think employers need to be more careful, because why do so many employers have bad HR like this, where there's numerous cases where they've been recorded, or they've written a letter, or they've just done stuff in such a like backhanded way. The millennials and Gen Z in particular, they will ruin you with social media.
Finish you.
As soon as the right person, that one person, that's all it takes to find that tweet, that Instagram post, that TikTok, your company is going to be finished for a number of weeks. So I feel like they also need to be careful. Like, who are you hiring to deal with these cases? Diversity, inclusion.
Where is it?
Like, who are you hiring to be, the people that retain essentially your diversity inclusion when they do go through those road bumps that they face outside as well? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't even know if it's a popular or unpopular opinion, but I feel like cancel culture doesn't exist. Like, it's just a myth. Because I don't know one celebrity or one company that has really been cancelled.
I can think of a celebrity.
R. Kelly is cancelled.
I wasn't even going to say his full name.
He is cancelled.
But his is not cancel culture. He's literally just like a raging criminal.
You say he's cancelled, but his streams went up.
I know. I know.
He, that's a very extreme case, but he hasn't been cancelled for something that he said. That he's literally been cancelled for being, like, he's a serial offender.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a criminal. Do you know what I mean? Like, the government cancelled him, they put him in the bin. So, but I'm talking about like social media cancel culture where people are still on road. Like, it doesn't happen. And so companies know that, you know that saying, this too shall pass. They know.
No, it's true.
They know.
Yeah.
So, like, there's not even enough incentive for them to invest, because, like, companies and people, they don't get cancelled. People say, oh, this person's cancelled. I don't know one person that has been cancelled. We tried to cancel him. Look at Chris Brown. He's still out here thriving. People are crushing.
That's true.
This was before.
No, I know, happened, but I'm saying, like, look at Ryan Giggs. Like, all of these people, like,
you love bringing up Ryan Giggs, innit?
I literally think he's a cretin. I think he's a cretin. I think he's the scum of the earth. I think he's the scum of the earth. But like, all of these people, like Jimmy Carr, we didn't pay his taxes, but he's still on TV.
Yeah.
Like,
there's forget culture. People. There's like a outrage and then forget.
There's pause culture.
But some of it I feel should be. Like, some of it can be that. Like, you get told off, you forget, you move on, because some of it is just a learning lesson, and some of it is just, you just need to know better. Some of it you do need to be cancelled, but I agree with you. And I think Twitter also agrees. When I see it, everyone kind of understands that cancel culture is not real. I haven't seen any. I feel like there's more of an understanding of it's not real thing now, but people still want a consequence for someone's actions.
They just want an iPhone notes apology, like,
that
they can drag
and then
them
still
for
say
after.
that it's not enough.
Like, or they want a statement that they can cuss and then move on and continue buying the products. Like,
but I feel from a company, you have more responsibility. I feel like when, for example, when influencers or some, like, their old tweets or something get dragged up, I feel like it's very different, not acceptable, but it's very different from when a company messes up and
It
doesn't
depends what-
choose to come and like say anything or remain silent or just blows it off, because I feel like as a company you're affecting, like, number one, you've got loads of customers already, but you're also affecting potential customers coming in as well. Like, you're literally saying, this is what we stand for, we don't care what you think, or this is what we stand for and we are going to try and do better, we want to change things.
I think it depends on what the situation is,
Mm.
but I think it more affects that kind of stuff. It probably more affects existing and potential employees, but I'm struggling to think of one company who has done something which has really negatively affected their coin. Stuff like, okay, mass firing of employees, like stuff like that. But even those companies, like, it just doesn't stick. Like, there is nothing. They can do something, oh, it's not great, it's not a great employer brand or whatever, but people will still, the coin is talking to everybody. Like, the companies don't care. And you also, what they have to have done must be something that people care about. So I'm just going to move out racism and all that stuff, because more time people actually, the only people that care about this are those populations that are affected.
I feel like there's a couple companies, Abercrombie and Fitch.
They have not even been cancelled.
They're
still
no,
thriving.
but they're not thriving. Victoria's Secret, they've had to
I just saw
do
their
a
new
whole
advert.
rebrand, and they are not thriving from what I'm seeing.
like
so I don't think.
I
I think it does affect.
I feel like Victoria's Secret, people stopped shopping there because it's not because
they weren't inclusive.
That's not why people stopped shopping there.
That is why.
It's people stop shopping at Victoria's Secret because they don't want to buy the stuff, but not because it's not people that say you're not inclusive, I'm not going to shop there. They said I'm going to stop using your spray because I'm grown.
No.
It's
not why.
You know why? Because that was me. I was like, I don't need your
Because you're grown. You're so funny. There's a whole generation underneath you that will say, I need your mist.
They're not
just
relevant.
because you've grown up.
They're not relevant.
No.
They're relevant for the younger market.
It's because they only done.
the vanilla one
they
was my
only done-
ish.
and it's good. Like, but they only created bras and thongs and sexy lingerie for skinny women.
Yeah, but
That's why.
People who, even skinny people, like, they're just not relevant. So like stuff like, what's that brand called? Intimacy, Bow Avenue, all these other, they're made for that same kind of, they're just more relevant. The people, no one is protesting against Victoria's Secret. It's like same reason La Senza died. And they had like
R.I.P.
they
La
had-
Senza.
No, but they were inclusive. But it's just, they're just, as a brand, they're not relevant. They're not doing up.
They done whole Victoria's Secret fashion. They were relevant.
But do you think the reason people don't shop at Victoria's Secret is because of a social standard? They want to plus size people to be represented.
Yes, because people outside of who their target audience is have a voice and they're talking and people are listening to it. If you go and actually look underneath all their comments of their new rebrand, there's nothing positive underneath those comments.
Yeah, but I don't think that's why people don't. But personally, I don't think that's why people don't shop at there. I feel like even the brands that are like aimed at really skinny like people, like even all of those bra brands, besides Bravissimo and a couple others like Bow Avenue, what is it called? Intimacy?
Yeah, there's one called Intimacy with an I in it.
All of them, they're the same. They're not inclusive. But like for me anyway, Victoria's Secrets, they just became less relevant. It's like they're like the wolves of bra brands. Like they're just not like everyone was. I never even bought underwear from them in the first place. The only thing anybody ever went in there for is to buy
sprays.
mist.
Yeah, but yeah.
But I don't know why the skinny girls are not shopping there anymore.
I just told you.
Maybe. But
So do you think, since I'm the neutral one in this, do you think if like a Pretty Little Thing didn't do what they've done now, like bringing in, you know, the plus size sizes or Fashion Nova, do you think people would have stopped shopping
Their time
there?
would have come. So who is it's not Celebrity. What's it called now?
Oh, it was House of CB.
House of CB. There was a time where she was getting grilled, or House of CB was getting grilled because people were saying that
The bus
they're
sizes
not exactly, and they're
But
not
even
being
now-
inclusive. And what did she do? She rebranded a little bit and started doing inclusive sizes. Trust me, that probably saved the
I don't think
business
people
from going
care.
in a different people.
I don't think people
Lola,
care at
it's
all about plus
clothes.
sizes.
People, of
People,
course.
the plus size people care, but I'm saying in all of these things, only the people who fit into the demographic care. Nobody else cares.
That's
Maybe
what
for
you think.
Do you care if a
Listen,
brand doesn't
if
do plus sizes?
I had a plus
This is
size
great
child
content.
or a plus size daughter, I care.
Do you have a plus size daughter?
No, but if I did, listen, there's people out there who are thinking,
What's happening here?
would you not care then?
They're affected. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like
It doesn't have to affect me to
no, but I'm
care.
saying you're affected because it's someone like, you know, like pride and everything. People be like, oh, I've got a gay son, now I care about pride.
But that's how the world works,
That's
though.
what I'm saying. But I'm saying only those people. So people who are skinny and they weren't affected, they're not boycotting Victoria's Secret because they got a bigger friend who can't wear the bras.
Oh my gosh, I can't deal with you. I can't deal with you.
Do you know what? I think I get where
I'm
both
done.
of you are coming from. I get both points. I get that, like, it's true that Victoria's Secret or Abercrombie and Fitch are not as relevant as they were back in the day because there's so many other brands that people can shop with. But also, you do now have these brands like Fenty. Fenty is very inclusive when it comes to skin, when it comes to underwear. Rihanna has it down packed. So people will naturally, they will gravitate to go that way because it's like, well, I can find me, her. And it's cool that I can just,
it's cool.
do you know what I mean?
It's for sure.
Yeah, it's very cool. So I think there's truth in what both of you are saying.
Do you know what? I think what you just said is like other brands are more relevant because they're inclusive and they can reach wider audiences. So maybe it helps them to stay relevant.
But Victoria's Secret could reach a wide, like you said, it's got like the fashion shows, the Victoria Angels and stuff. So they could, but then Pretty Little
That's
Thing.
what people are saying, people don't like it.
Yeah, they just chose not to.
Yeah. But then people like Nella Rose getting her own line with PLT. It's like, I'm never going to wear Nella Rose's line, but I love Nella. I love that she's, comfortable in her weight now. Yeah, so.
But I feel like that's how they stay relevant. Like, part of staying relevant is who they work with.
Definitely. 100%.
Like, even the influence, like if Victoria, like again, Bow Avenue are so good at just going for this Fiat 500 influencer that they identify with, and they pick the best, that they know who their target audience is. That Essex, like that, that vibe, like they're so good at targeting it. Victoria's Secret, I don't think I've ever seen an influencer campaign that has hit my timeline. For obviously they do them, but I don't know.
I have. Jackie Einar has done stuff in the past.
And wasn't Leomi Anderson?
She was an angel. She was. Yeah.
But it hit your timeline.
No, I didn't see it, but I get it. But
But I feel like again, for example, I keep going back to my babes Rihanna, but even when the Tory Lanez and Meghan, we don't know what happened, but when he allegedly when he allegedly shot at her foot, and then influencer / reality star Drea Michelle went on a podcast and said she finds it sexy when a man like brings out a gun, and she was talking about he could like shoot at me, like in relation to the Meghan situation.
That's so off.
But literally immediately she was removed as a Savage Fenty ambassador.
Yeah.
So things like that. So I do think things like that do help for you to feel like, okay, like
Rihanna is a brand in herself. Like she's so relevant that like anything she has. There was some woman doing some think piece on TikTok about why Rihanna's a brand and Beyonce's not, or something.
I saw that.
I hear it.
But like Rihanna, again, she's the best ambassador for a brand. You get me? She's so relevant, and I feel like that's part of it. But maybe I just have a really poor opinion of people. But I really don't think people care about stuff that doesn't affect them.
I think people like to pretend they do.
There we go.
Yeah.
And brands like to pretend like they do.
Yeah. It's all performative. That's the life.
That's why
the
their
world
pockets
we're
don't
living
get
in.
hit.
That's why they what?
That's why their pockets don't get hit.
Yeah.
A brand will, like Vodafone didn't want to pay its tax, or they were negotiating. It was like, oh, this is disgusting. Starbucks, we still be eating our caramel mocha chocolate.
And it tastes good.
Period. Starbucks doesn't want to pay tax. It's disgusting.
I hear it.
Sipping on my whatever it is, my chai tea latte with the cinnamon on top.
Do you know what I'm so into these days? Bubble tea.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, I literally can have like 3 bubble teas in a day.
I'm not really a fan, you know.
So much sugar.
I've had one.
It just makes me like, I don't know. I've never had a bubble tea. Everyone says they're really nice, but
they're amazing.
It's the tapioca balls at the.
So
yeah, that's
I
what
don't go for that. Yeah, of course. But I have the popping bubbles.
Oh, okay.
I don't. So they pop. They've got like fruit juice or something in them, and you can look at her face.
You're not feeling it?
I don't know.
It's so nice.
Because isn't it milky?
So I go for fruit tea.
Okay.
Which is nice. I haven't had the milky one.
So wait,
before.
the balls at the bottom,
Yeah.
do they come up the straw? Are they chewy?
Yeah.
Are they chewy?
They're not chewy. They just burst, and then the shell, I guess, is chewy.
We should get her one.
Yeah, we definitely have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
I have like 3 a day. So bad. It's too much sugar.
Where do you get this? Where do you get this bubble tea from?
You getting them delivered?
Deliveroo.
You
Oh
are
my
terrible.
God.
You're terrible.
I know, it's so bad.
This exposure's over there, like
I did.
different.
I'm really thinking that I have, but
But
yeah.
is it close to you? You can walk there. You don't want to, do you?
She's not going to.
Deliveroo. And plus, Deliveroo is free. Delivery
Oh,
over
is it?
£10.
So you spend £10. I do not.
On
My
tea.
pocket is not your pocket. 3 times a day.
No, okay. I
Foye,
have
spending
family.
30
I
pounds.
have family
You
at
order
home.
once, you order
No, I
once.
have family at home, so it's not just for myself.
But you're still ordering 3 times a day.
No, you just order however much you keep it in the fridge.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't come for me.
No, I'm not coming for you. I just want to live your life. To be honest, I had to delete Deliveroo because it was becoming
No, I need to delete it too.
I've tried. I've tried.
I need to delete it.
Nah,
Deliveroo and
I
Uber
had
Eats needs
I
to
had
go.
deliver it. I had to get rid of it.
I'm not even in an area where the delivery bangs like that. But
Same.
I'm still on it.
I got options.
Yeah, you
You've
have
got the
options.
best options.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't have options like that. And by 5 o'clock, everything's closed.
What?
Pretty much, yeah.
No.
6 at best.
I'll be ordering things at times I shouldn't be ordering. I should be eating at certain times.
Only things available at like 10 is like tops and pizza go-go. And
Yeah.
just stuff that you're just like,
You
ew.
don't want, yeah.
Nah, I can get Wagamama. I don't even know where the Wagamama is. I think it's you have some of those places where it's just like they just cook it out of a kitchen, but there's no
Yeah,
actual-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah.
delivery
And
kitchens.
I get the ones from Greenwich as well.
Okay.
They come. There's some
Must
good
be
burger
nice.
places.
I just need a chef. I was Googling how much a chef
How much
costs.
is a chef?
It's a lot. It's a
Why
lot.
don't you try HelloFresh?
No, that's not for me. The ingredients are not ethnic enough for me. Yeah, it's not ethnic enough for me.
Huh?
It's not ethnic enough for
Yeah,
me.
but surely you can season your own stuff.
Yeah, but then I might as well just get the
So you
ingredients
just add a couple
myself.
Maggi cubes to HelloFresh.
Listen, Maggie will change lives. Maggie can add some of anything. I put Maggie in too much. Sometimes my bolognese be tasting like stew.
I like bolognese that has a stewy.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I like that. I prefer it.
One of my housemates when I was at uni, she introduced me, and I need you guys to let me land. I need you guys to be open-minded.
Okay.
She introduced me
We
to-
sell for this.
Shout out you know who you are. I won't say your name because you might not be proud of it, but she introduced me to Ebba Bolognese.
Huh?
Ebba, what?
Huh?
You need to tell me who that is off air. Because you said uni, so
She introduced me to Ebba Bolognese.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
I'm not on board.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not on board.
Ebba and Bolognese.
That's
That's
disgusting.
wild.
That's disgusting.
That's what I thought, yeah. But then I tried it one time, and think about it, it's tomato based.
No, that's wild.
So
And it's tomato and meat.
no, don't do that.
That is
And
wild.
it's kind of like imagine.
So do
having-
you still eat it?
Huh?
Do you
Not
still?
now, but when I was at uni, it made sense.
It
Because
doesn't.
we're broke
though.
at uni.
It's not even broke. It was
Then
delicious.
buy Indomie if you're broke.
No, but I would rather eat Ebba Bolognese.
Wow.
I'm not even a big Indomie
That is
fan.
wild. That's
Very
so
wild.
wild.
You guys
Very, very wild.
don't do that.
I think
Don't do that.
I think it's
I
time.
asked you. Do you know what I said at the beginning? I said, you guys let me land and be open minded. You didn't do it.
I tried.
Guys, it's time to end the podcast.
I hear it.
Guys, try it. If you anyway, anyone who's listening to this and is more open minded as the ladies in the room,
Mm-hmm. Go
shout
on.
me. Tell me what you think. Ebba Bolognese.
All the best.
Wait, before we finish, just I want to get your views on pasta and stew.
What?
Pasta and stew.
I've had pasta and stew
See,
when I was
it's the
when I
same-
was younger though.
Yeah, but it's the same concept. Western and
Do you know what I have had that you should try? Jollof pasta.
Everyone is moving mad today.
Everyone
that's actually nice.
No, I'm just ignoring both of you now.
That's actually nice.
It's quite late here, so I just feel like people are just losing it.
We are tired.
Yeah.
we have fusion of cultures. We're West African. We're in the West. We have to mix it together. That's why you get the Italian and the Nigerian.
I mean, I'm from Sierra Leone. I don't know what you are on.
This one I was just giving us her Nigerian heritage. Now you're distancing yourself. Cool. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, please like, comment, follow, share, subscribe. On YouTube, all the good stuff. TikTok. We see all the comments as well, and we're really grateful for them. So thank you all.
You got my man.
Yeah, I was gonna shout him out, but nah. But we see you in it.
You know who you are.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the support.
That's a wrap, guys.
Bye.